Heyo! It's me, Henry. I'm a doctor in regional Australia. This year, I'm giving half my income to charity. I'm working in Yorta country this year. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land, of course. Look, a lot of us underestimate how wealthy we are, how lucky we've been. I was born in Australia through really no effort of my own. I won the birth lottery, and most of us who are living in Australia won the birth lottery as well. I also was born by chance into a really loving, supportive family, and I've been surrounded by that and some supportive friends my whole life. And that combination of factors is probably 95% of why I'm living the great life that I'm living. I've been incredibly lucky, and a lot of us have, and I want to use that to try and help some of the people in the world that haven't been as lucky, because the world's a very unequal place and it should be a more equal place, I think. And I think a lot of people would agree. You know, we talk a lot about the 1%. 1% of the world owns whatever percent of the wealth, some ridiculous proportion. We're a lot closer to the 1% than we think in general. You know, in order to be in the 1%, you only need like $750,000 US in assets. That is quite a lot. Only $750,000 US dollars in assets. It's about $1 million in Australian currency. But that's not that much, really, is it? That's the cost of a house within 5 kilometres of any CBD, any capital city in Australia. So most people watching this are actually either in the 1%, or their parents are in the 1%, or they're going to be in the 1% sometime in their life. We're a lot closer to those real top echelons of resources and wealth than we realise. And I think we really need to keep that in mind when it comes to thinking about our responsibilities for making the world a better place. Because when a system's as unequal as our world is, you know, where 50% of the population live on less than $10,000 a year, that's worldwide, and 50% of the population live on less than that, we really need to think about what the hell we're doing. I'm giving half my income to charity. I'm giving to all sorts of fantastic organisations around the world. I'm giving money to great charities. I'm giving even more money to really, really great charities. The really, really great charities tend to be preventative health organisations in developing countries. Now, the thing about preventative health, it's particularly good to stop someone from getting sick in the first place. Much better than treating someone once they are sick. Once someone is sick, you often can't cure their disease. It's just about treating the symptoms or stopping it from getting worse. The best treatment is prevention in the first place, just stopping someone from getting a disease at all. And that's actually often much more cost effective. Putting fluoride in the water is extremely cost effective at saving people's teeth from falling out. Making sure that water is clean, food is nutritious, stops people from getting diarrheal diseases and parasitic infections and malnourishment. And encouraging people to exercise and have a healthy diet, well, that's not a very easy thing to do, is extremely helpful in preventing cardiovascular disease, which is probably the biggest killer in developed countries. All right, so there's a lot of things we can do. These organisations are fantastic. These big preventative health charities in the developing world, and working in the developing world rather than the developed world, is particularly cost effective, because you can use inequality to solve inequality. Resources, rent, labour is all cheaper in developing countries, and you can leverage that to run organisations cheaply in developing countries that are improving the lives of people there. Now, New Incentives is the organisation I'm giving to this paycheck. I'm giving them $1,500. I'm only giving to New Incentives. Simple, basic, straightforward. New Incentives runs in Nigeria. It's an organisation. They do vaccination. They pay parents about $5.50 US dollars a dose to get their children vaccinated, and then they get a little bit of extra at the end of the course. They're paying people to vaccinate their kids. It works. It's based on a randomized controlled trial that showed that this intervention increases vaccination rates. In the areas where they ran this trial, it increased vaccination rates about 15 to 20%, which is not huge. It's not 80, it's not 90% increased rates. But because vaccines are so effective at preventing terrible diseases, measles, mumps, rubella, polio, tuberculosis, you're saving lives. And they estimate that for every 1,000 children vaccinated, they're saving 5.5 lives, which is pretty good. Costs about $50 through this system to pay for someone's vaccinations, and that includes all the logistics behind it as well, and the monitoring. They do a lot of monitoring to make sure that people aren't defrauding the system, to make sure the vaccines are getting to where they're meant to make sure the cold chain's not broken. Really good organisation. I'm very happy to give them another $1,500. This organisation is recommended by GiveWell. It's also recommended by The Life You Can Save. These are two organisations that I use for advice on which cost-effective interventions to give to. GiveWell's a charity evaluator in the US. I really encourage anyone to look into it. They just look at really particularly effective interventions, mostly preventative health in developing countries, and recommend a few that are each saving lives on the order of a few $1,000s a piece. If you roughly, it's hard to do those calculations. And The Life You Can Save is Peter Singer's organisation, which mainly gives wealth suggestions, but also encourages people to really think about the resources, the luck that we've had, and how we can try and make the world better through that. So yeah, look, consider what you have, consider what you can do. The world sucks. It's getting better, and we can make it better faster. And we probably have the power to do that, maybe more than you realise. Trust, love, selflessness, these are the most precious natural resources. Much love to you all. Reach out. Tell me what's going on. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any suggestions. Any criticisms. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me that I'm being paternalistic by trying to stop people from getting malaria in the third world. Look, if it's paternalistic to give out mosquito nets for free to people, then mate, call me daddy, because I am being paternalistic. I don't think there's anything wrong with giving people the freedom to better access, good health care, good education, good security. Thanks, John Luke. Much love to you all. I'll see you on the flip side.